Welcome to our second class of logo designing with Adobe Photoshop. In this class, we're going to learn about how we can make a letter logo design just by using Adobe Photoshop. Now, in my previous class, I've shown you how you can make a very simple and very basic text logo design. Well, in this class, we're also going to be using the same steps and couple of the same tools, and I'm going to show you how to make the logo out of it. So make sure not to skip any part because if you do, you might miss out on something very important. So make sure to always stay connected to the internet, okay? And whatever resource I'll be using in this course or in this class, I will also attach it to my resource file with this whole course. You can download it whenever you want to. But if I don't have it, you will not be able to use it either. So without any further ado, let's just hop onto our class by opening up Adobe Photoshop on our device. As you can see on my device that I have already opened up Adobe Photoshop. Now, the first thing what we have to do is open ourselves up a new file with a new preset. So I most of the time just prefer using this art and illustration for logo design because this just gives me off a very square type of preset and a square type of artboard to work with. So I'm going to select this and I'm gonna do is going to be fixing up the resolution somewhere around 600 because I need better and higher ones. So I'm gonna keep it like somewhere around 16-bit so that even if I scale it up, it doesn't lose its resolution. So I'm going to press on create and there we go. We have our page. And this is also 600 in resolution. And also we have our bit depth to be around 16-bit this time. So it's going to be a bit more better than the last one, okay? Because in our last class, we've used 8-bit. But if you obviously, if you have an, or like, let's say a low-end device, that's going to be perfect for you. So make sure to keep that thing in mind, okay? So you can also try out 16-bit if you want to, and you can also higher up your resolution and check it out, okay? So now the first thing, what we have to do over here, we just need a text, okay? So I'm going to put in a text. There we go. I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to put in, let's say, A. I'm going to work with A, okay? So as I'm going to be working with A, obviously I don't want red. I want something around blue. Select on that and change up the size. Let's say somewhere around 150. Let's just increase up the size and let's check it if it is working. Okay, this is too much. So I'm going to do is going to keep it somewhere around 72. That's also totally perfect. So I'm going to do is going to be selecting on that. There we go. Reduce up the size just a bit because obviously we don't need that big of a text. Or we can also increase up the size. There we go. Now right click on this and we're obviously going to be rasterizing the type so that we can also like just use this. And you can also do something else like removing it before like, removing or rasterizing the whole thing is that you can remove out this specific part. Now, how will you be able to remove that? First off, you're going to need this polygonal lasso tool. So I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this area. There we go. Select up the corner. There we go. And then you can just press on delete or you can just click on this erase and then erase up the part. It's not going to be outside, so you can just see that that is how easy it is. Now I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this tool and press on deselect. Okay, this is the A which we need, or this is the exact thing what I need to use. Okay, so as we have this, now I'm going to be making something out of this. Okay, how will I be able to do that? First thing I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this polygonal lasso tool again, and I'm going to do is going to be making this flat. Make sure to hold on a shift so that you also get like a flat surface out of it. There we go. Click on this. Okay, I'm going to do is press on Control Z again. Press on Control Z. I'm going to do is going to be, let's say I'm going to keep it a bit closer to over here. There we go. This is exactly what I need. Just select up this area, click on this erase tool and remove out that part. Now I'm obviously going to do the same thing. I'm going to make this flat. So I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this. First off, deselect. Select up this, Control Z. Deselect. Press on this erase tool. There we go. Delete it. Deselect. And this is exactly what we need. Now from here, what we have to do is select on this one. I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this one. Right click. You can also make a bit of outline if you want to make it a bit more thicker. But I'm going to keep it like this for a while. Or maybe let's just change it. Okay, I'm going to click on this effects over here and go off the stroke. And over here, I'm going to do is going to be increasing the size of this and select on, let's say, the color of this. Obviously, you don't want like gradients. So I'm going to do is going to be turning this off. Let's say blend mode should be normal. And this is basically gradient. So I'm going to do is going to be turning this reverse if you want to. But if you don't want gradient, you can just turn on the stroke over here. Overprint. Outside. And I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this. And I'm going to do is type in solid. Okay. Now over here on solid, I'm going to do is going to be selecting on this color. I want basically a new color over here. Let's say I'm going to do is going to be pressing on new. Select up this area. Press on OK. I want all of them to be on this side. There we go. All blue. And you can fix up the size just a bit. There we go. And obviously, if you don't want like this cornered ones, obviously you'll be able to change it anytime you want to. But this is exactly what I want, so I'm going to press on OK. And if you want like corners only, you can also fix that up later on. Now, what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this pen tool, right click on this. First off, click on this pen tool. And I'm going to start off from this corner over here. Select on this. And I'm going to do is going to be, let's say I'm going to press on Control Z again. There we go. Right click on this and click on curvature. Something like this. Right click. First off, turn it like this. And then what we can do is select up on this part and there we go. Perfect. And now what we can do is that just select up this part, connect it up, Control Z, right click, pencil. That's it. Right click on this and convert point tool. There we go. And select up the part. So let's say blue. There we go. This is how it will look like. Select on this again. What I'm going to do is going to be zooming in to fix out that part. And what we're going to do is going to be fixing out the stroke. Okay. There we go. We also have a circle over here. This will also look good if you have it. I'm going to go off to effects over here, or maybe just select on this part over here. And then what we basically have to do is just click on this pen tool, click on strokes, and then keep it 0. In that case, now you can see we have 0 strokes, and this is how it will look like. And what we're going to do is going to be clicking on this shape. You can keep this if you want to. I'm going to press on Control Z. We have shape 2 over here. Delete it anytime. Delete. We just need shape 1. And on shape 1, go off to effects, then go off to, let's say, I'm going to go off to stroke. And in this one, I'm going to be using not gradients. I'm going to use color and put in whites. And this is how it will look like. You can fix in the opacity and you can fix in the size however you want. So let's say I want something like this. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is going pressing on OK. And then I'm going to do is going to be removing this. And then select on this erase. And first off, you're going to do is going to be rasterizing this layer. Okay, so I'm going to rasterize this layer. This is how it's going to be looking like. You can press on Control Z to unrasterize it too. It's basically up to you how you want to work with it. But obviously, I would suggest you just remove out that part or remove out the stroke of this, line. Make sure to keep this layer rasterized. Now, what we're going to do is just select on this one. First off, let's just back it up again. Right click on this magic eraser tool. Select up this white part. Unlock this. There we go. We have removed the parts, but now this is how it's looking like. But we need this part to be also removed when we are working with it. Okay, so make sure to select up and to remove out the parts. Okay, first off, select on both of these and then rasterize them together. Right click, convert to smart object. You can do that if you want to. Convert to smart object if you want to. Let's go. There we go. This is how it will look like. Right click on this and obviously rasterize the layer and then remove out the white parts. There we go. This is how it will look like. Now you can go back, turn it on. You can see this is how it looks like, okay? So what we're going to do over here now is that we're going to customize it with filters. So first thing is that if I want gradient overlay, this is how it will look like. So you can turn it gradient to if you want to, but you can also turn it off. So the first thing what we need to do on this thing is that we need a bit of color overlay. Okay, but we can also apply a bit of, let's say, shadow. So let's just start applying a bit of gradient overlay first. So over here, I'm going to do is going to be using blues this time, blues and a bit of purples. So I'm going to do is select somewhere around this one. There we go. This one looks quite good. And over here, I'm going to do is going to be using linear or angle, something like this. You can also change it, let's say reflected. We can use radial, okay? There we go. And if you want to customize it, you can scale it up, fix it up however you want to. And you can also deter if you want to, okay? What I'm going to do is going to be using color burn, or maybe let's just keep it normal, okay? And then let's go off to the shadow, which is going to be outer or drop shadow. This is how it looks like. So if I go off the drop shadow, we're going to be using normal, something like this. Fix in the distance, fix in the spread, fix in the size. There we go. This is how it will look like. Normal. Reduce the amount of noise, and the contour should be somewhere around over here. Anti-aliased. Fix in the direction. Fix in the color. Let's say I'm going to want something around this one, or maybe something blue or something like this. Press on OK. There we go. And we're going to fix in the opacity. Looks quite good. Press on OK, and you can also apply a bit of contour if you want to, but we don't want that, so I'm going to do is turn it off. Let's just see if there's texture will make it look good. So let's just go off to inner shadow just a bit. Opacity, reduce it just a bit of noise. Let's say pattern overlay, you can turn it on if you want to. Outer glow, fixing the opacity, fixing the spread, increase the noise just a bit. And you have to fix in the size of this. There we go. A lot better. You can also apply fixing the range too. And after you're done, just press on OK, and there you go. And if you want to customize your background, you can also go over here. Let's say maybe I want a bit of gradient color over here. Maybe I want purples. You can turn it on if you want to, something like this. But if you don't want to, you can also obviously just press on Control Z. You can go off maybe something like a solid color or a pattern. There we go. Press on OK. And this is how our logo will look like. Okay. So now you know how you'll be able to make a letter logo in Adobe Photoshop. So hope you understood about everything in this class. If you still have any confusion or any question about any part of the lesson, feel free to ask me anytime. I'm always there to help you out. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next class of logo designing with Adobe Photoshop.